My name is James Qualah here for the Liberian Journal, and I'm here with the Minister of Defense, Republic of Liberia, Brownie Samukai. Welcome to Liberian Media, Mr.
Thank you very much.
Take us on speed exactly where you are since 2006 when you were appointed by Madam Salif as the new Minister of Defense.
Well, thank you. I don't know what a time can permit. There's a whole lot of stuff to talk about, but let me say we have tried to bring up a new armed forces of Liberia, an army, a force of good to protect the citizens with respect, that is disciplined, that is well trained, that can represent Liberia anywhere. We go into a rigorous training program, rigorous recruiting and vetting process, building up the integrity of the institution where we have come. Since when we started in 2006, today we now have about 2,150 persons that have now completed the process of being soldiers. We have several officers that have gone through different kinds of training both in Liberia and other African countries and European countries as well. So the process is on course, if you want to put it in that respect. Few challenges because we have to sustain what we have right now, and so that's what we're building upon.
Well, there is one thing about the AFL that you know and I know well, coming out of 1989 to 2003, that this group has been branded as a whatever group people call them.
But that has changed.
Okay.
It has changed for the mere fact that in 2005, a severance package was provided to the AFL. Everybody would pay off. So everybody else wanted to come into the new AFL have to now come and meet those criteria. First, you got to be a high school graduate with a wired certificate. Secondly, you got to make sure that you pass both all of the diagnostic testing, physical testing, medical testing. Thirdly, you got to pass the entire vetting process. If you wanted to be an officer, future officer, you must come in with a college degree. So it's a whole new standard that have changed. And fourthly, it's non-political interference. It's strictly on the basis of merit and order of merits, and the vetting process is a non-interference process as well, in which it all depends on your character, your performance, and only you as the applicant. Now this commission is a completely different criteria, and we are breaking away from the past. It's no longer the old military in which individuals were loyal, their loyalty were to a group, or to a specific tribe, or to a specific organization. Now it is clearly for Liberia.
Let's talk about the ethnic background. That's one of the pillars that was stressed in the CPA.
There is no single tribe that is 15% greater in terms of percentage number than any other tribe. And the lowest we have is not less than 3%. So everybody is represented across the broad spectrum of the 15 political subdivisions as well as the different ethnic groups in our country. So what it goes to show, therefore, is that a full geographic representation of all ethnic groups of our country within the new armed forces of Liberia.
When the Liberian Frontier Force was changed to the AFL in 1956, the U.S. government has been largely responsible for training materials. Is it still the same situation today?
And I believe it will continue for quite a while. But it's a new dimension, and that new dimension is the involvement of ECOWAS, the Economic Commonwealth of African States, in which Liberia is a part in helping to maintain regional peace. So that element is going to be is what is going to bring in a new strategic partnership and alliance between Liberia, ECOWAS, and of course our international partners, particularly the United States. So that new dimension just helped to buttress the new disposition that the country finds itself. Knowing full well it was ECOWAS that was involved in bringing peace in the 1990s, ECOWAS that involved in helping to bring peace in the 2000 conflict as well. So we are on the right course of that. So there's no problem, no real.
But when you were named by Madam Salif to take over as Minister of Defense, the IRN released some information that Madam Salif made no mistake by choosing you, that you were the right hand to run the army. Do you still believe you're the right hand to run the army?
Well, I can't speak for myself. I leave that to talk about. But I do believe that our country deserves better, and I think the president made the right decision. And I'm also from the institution AFL. They pay my school fees, and I owe it to them to come back to help. I work for them, I work with them. I need to have an idea of what it is, and I'm very proud to have served. So coming back to run the service, I have no doubt in my mind it was the right decision to make.
Initially, when you took over the U.S. private training group, Danacom, and you had some problem in terms of coordination. How far is that argument?
Well, the training with Danacom that Danacom was conducting ended on December 31st, 2009. which means saying the government of Liberia is now responsible for the Liberian military in partnership with other countries and other partners as well. I always hold the view that the building up of a credible institution has to be done by individuals who have the requisite expertise to do so. It's not a specific assignment, it's an entire institution across the spectrum. So my view was that building such an institution requires bilateral relationship and not contractual relationship. And I still stand by that.
But by the end of Judith Bryant's administration, the AFL was the size of 6,000 plus. When Mr. Taylor took over, he rose the army up to 11,000. There were huge demobilization that was taking place. When you assumed leadership of the military, how much problem did you inherit in terms of the number of people that had to be demobilized, pension, and all of that?
Well, let me say most of the hard work was done in terms of severance of the old AFL. So we had to build upon that to build a new one. But you have to deal with the legacy of what was unfinished. You know the problem of the ex-soldiers and benefits and benefits and benefits.
Total strength of the army now, and then tell me exactly.
It's about 2,150.
And I understand there are about two sets of brigades.
No, one brigade, 2 battalions.
2 battalions, okay.
Yeah, the brigade is up here, the 2 battalions serve, and then there are other support units. There's an engineering company, MP company, service support company, so they have different units that have also been added onto the made up the 2,150.
Being Minister of Defense, you serve at the whims and caprice of the President.
Sure.
So much in a civilian capacity. What is the relationship with the army in terms of the status quo of the army?
Oh, perfect.
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 When you say perfect, what do you mean?
I really mean perfect. It's under civilian control. When the President issues orders, and it comes down to the Minister of Defense, in which I serve, we send it to the Chief of Staff. It gets implemented. No question about that.
A lot of people who've left Liberia long, 10, 15 years ago, I've heard that the army has moved into a bigger barracks. There's a new Minister of Defense. Talk to us about
Well, the army hasn't moved to a new bigger barracks. The Seymour barracks, we just changed the name from Shuffling to EBK, Edobi and Kazali. BTC, yes, the Minister of Defense has relocated from Benson Street to BD Street, UN Drive and Link Street. It's a very big facility, building refurbished by the US government. So we have the Minister of Defense and the Armed Forces of Liberia headquarters are there. But the Army, what we call the Brigade headquarters, is located at the Edobi and Kazali barracks on the Shuffling Highway. So we got enough space, but aside from Shuffling, in the EBK barracks in Shuffling, we still have a challenge of space.
The Armed Forces consist of Coast Guard.
Well, we have a Coast Guard, we have the Army, and that's where it is. We have no Navy and no intention to do so.
Why is that?
We have no Air Force, no intention to do so.
Why is that?
We do not believe that Liberia should expend its resources in projecting itself in such a way. We believe a credible Coast Guard, well-trained, properly equipped, can deal with the challenges along our coast and our neighboring countries. We don't need the Air Force. Why we need the Air Force? What are the threats that also require one to deter against one? We believe an air capability for rescue purposes, for transport purposes, for logistical movement purposes, yes. But in terms of Air Force, no.
Having been in the position of Defense Minister for the last 5 years, do you have any future intention?
I've been working in government for the past 32 years. And I've risen from the levels through the civil service, level to the ranks of the military, rank through the international civil service. I've served the United Nations as well. I think I've come this far. It's about time to retire when the time comes.
You have any intention to be president?
No. I support President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.